Welcome to News 9. And now let us take you to the controversy of the day, which continues to rile the Parliament, which has ensured that the second part of the budget session becomes unfunctional. I am talking about the demand of the JPC, led by the entire opposition, and government insistent on the fact that Rahul Gandhi should first apologize. Now, Rahul Gandhi has hit back at Bharatiya Janata Party over the controversy regarding his statement at Cambridge. He has called the charges baseless, unfair, defamatory. In a letter to the Lok Sabha Speaker, he has demanded the right to reply in the House to answer the charges. Rahul Gandhi has accused that the arbitrary decision of the chair has deprived him of stating facts. And he has actually cited Jyotiraditya Scindia and Ravi Shankar Prasad's precedents in his letter that he must be allowed to speak his mind. I'm joined by my colleague Brijesh. Brijesh, do you think that Rahul Gandhi will get a chance in the second part of the Parliament to clear the air?
I doubt if the second leg of the budget session will function at all. What has happened right now is that Lok Sabha reconvened, and the budget of Jammu and Kashmir was passed, and immediately after that the House was adjourned till tomorrow. See, the point is that both sides are sticking to their gun. Rahul Gandhi, by writing this letter, is basically trying to send a big message to people at large by saying that what he said in London was not wrong. He is not being allowed to speak. This is the reason, if you remember, Kartikeya, he went and met Birla, who is the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, and requested him to be given an opportunity to speak. And this is the second attempt which has been made by Rahul Gandhi, in which he is asking a Lok Sabha Speaker to allow him time to speak, especially on the kind of what he calls, disparaging references and baseless and unfair charges which are being levelled against him. BJP, on the other hand, if you go by the tone and tenor of the last 10 days, it's very clear that they have stuck to the fact that until unless Rahul Gandhi apologizes, they will not allow the House to function. So it's a catch-22 situation. It suits both sides' narrative, because Rahul Gandhi will use this to tell people that, see, what I said in London is correct. They're not allowing me to speak. He has addressed a press conference which we did that day, and he's made a point there that as a member of the Lok Sabha, his first duty is to speak inside the House, but he said that he doubts that he will be allowed to speak. And to buttress the point, the meeting with Lok Sabha, with Birla, and this letter which has just been given.
He has written a letter on 18th of March to Lok Sabha Speaker Birla. After that, there have been a number of events on which Rahul Gandhi has stated that he is not being allowed. He held a press conference. He was in Belagavi. Today he is in Wayanad. And at the various forums where he has got the opportunity to interact with people, he is reaffirming the point. Now, before we go forward in this discussion, let's listen into a couple of bites.
It would not be an aberration to say that Rahul Gandhi is the present day Mir Jafar of Indian polity. जो उन्होंने लंदन में किया है वो ठीक वही किया है. शहजादा नवाब बनना चाहता है और शहजादे ने ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी की मदद मांगी है नवाब बनने के लिए कि तुम मुझे नवाब बनाओ, मैं तुम्हें 24 परगना भेंट करूंगा, मैं तुम्हें हिंदुस्तान का एक टुकड़ा भेंट करूंगा. मीर जाफर ने बंगाल में 24 परगना उसने भेंट किया था ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी को, और उसी 24 परगना के माध्यम से ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी और अंग्रेजी हुकूमत हिंदुस्तान में प्रवेश करती है. हिस्ट्री रिपीट्स इटसेल्फ. द प्रेजेंट डे मीर जाफर ऑफ इंडियन पॉलिटी राहुल गांधी हैज टू अपोलोजाइज. मीर जाफर को माफी मांगनी ही पड़ेगी. इसका कोई दूसरा और विकल्प नहीं है.
शाह, शहनशाह, पूरे वजीर, सारे प्रवक्ता सुबह सुबह उठकर आ जाएं. हो सकता है बिना नहाए आए हों और सीधा बिना तैयारी के बोलना शुरू कर दें, तो जो मुंह में आएगा बोलेंगे ना. हम तो सिर्फ ये जानना चाहते हैं कि एक अदानी को बचाने के लिए पूरी संसद क्यों बंद है. हम ये जानना चाहते हैं एक अदानी को बचाने के लिए पूरी सरकार का काम क्यों ठप है. ये दोस्त देश से ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है क्या? हम फिर से सलाह देते हैं शाह और शहनशाह को, दोस्त को छोड़िए, देश की सोचिए. पूछिए ना, ये दोस्ती जब तक चलेगी तब तक ये डेडलॉक चलेगा.
So Brijesh, Indian politics has come down to the same words which were part and parcel of 2013 campaign, Shahenshah, Shehzada and Nawab.
Well, yes, it has. Nothing much has changed. And if you go by, the Congress party this time, they're very aggressive in their approach as far as this particular issue is concerned. They have also decided that come what may, they are not going to let go of this, position against Adani. If you remember, yesterday also in Rajya Sabha, a couple of TMC MPs also stood up, and Derek O'Brien stood up and said that, he mentioned the word Adani inside the house, and he said, like, I'm doing it before the house gets adjourned, and within 3 minutes or 5 minutes the house was adjourned. So they have also decided that they're not going to back off from this. The government is also decided that first time the government feels that they have got Rahul Gandhi on a wrong sticky wicket as far as the narration of nationalism is concerned, and both sides are not allowing it to let go. And this is the reason why they're saying there's absolute logjam, which I personally feel like there's no.
The opposition parties are demanding a joint parliamentary committee, but I would like to say this, that any joint parliamentary committee has not been delivered by government easily. The 2G happened when there was a consecutive washout of 6 to 5 sessions. Even during Atal Bihari Vajpayee's time, when they had to announce JPC on certain edible products, it took some time. JPC has a lot of powers in terms of investigation. Its remit is big. So the joint parliamentary committee does not happen like that. It's not given. A joint parliamentary committee has to be taken by pressurizing the government. So if anyone thinks that this issue can be resolved so easily, I don't think so. And there have been chances, and there have been precedents in Indian political history where Parliament became dysfunctional before Lok Sabha election. For example, after 1988, entire opposition boycotted Lok Sabha. So Rajiv Gandhi ended up with an empty house passing all the bills. Obviously, at 400 MPs, but it just showed that you cannot brutally force parliamentary majority over democratic functioning. But in this case, the opposition is neither, the main opposition is neither thriving on street nor has a say in the parliament.
Well, thriving on the street is the biggest problem which they are facing. If they were thriving on the street, I think, the numbers in the parliament would have been completely different. But they feel, the Congress party strongly feels, and I think if you go by utterances of other opposition parties, be it RJD, JDU, or Trinamool Congress and BRS, they also feel that this particular issue of trying to take the name or make sure that the name of Adani gets stick with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they see merit in that, and this is the reason why the opposition parties has been very vehement when it comes to this narration. All the opposition party, be it Congress, Trinamool, BRS, Samajwadi Party, RJD, they all are talking about it. Whether it will deliver them the required good or not remains to be seen, because Prime Minister's connect with the voter is very high, and one of the USP of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is that that he thrives on the street. That's why numerically he is very strong as far as both houses are concerned.
So it means that the parliament will have no debate. It means that the budget will be, the demand for grant will be passed without any cuts. It also means that there will be no meaningful conversation on why so much of allotment has to be done. And often in robust parliamentary democracies, demand for grant sees good intellectual jostling between the treasury benches and opposition. It means that everything is going to be passed. There's no one is going to go into the finer details of the budget. One part of the budget is what we see on the day it's tabled. The other part of the budget is when it gets detailed, and the God lies in detail. So I think it's a travesty that our budget is going to pass like this, piece by piece, without any conversation.
Well, absolutely, and you see, you yourself said that that it's very hard to extract JPC, especially when the government is in power. I remember Congress was never in absolute power. It was dependent on the UPA for the required 272 numbers. Still, it took BJP a lot of protest, a lot of washing out of parliament session, and only after that JPC was constituted. So I think the opposition parties have also figured out that there is no point allowing the house to function until and unless they get their way, because they want to use this particular situation to buttress home the point that the government has this relationship with the industrialists and they are illegally favoring him. This is the kind of narrative which the opposition wants to build and wants to be seen to be through. They know that, you know, if they speak in parliament, it will be very difficult for someone to, like, you know, not air them or to ensure that this particular statement gets required publicity.
I think the bottom line is that Rahul Gandhi is insistent that he wants to make a statement. But in this case, the government is not allowing him to. I think it's a first, because Rahul Gandhi is not a junior leader. He represents the Indian National Congress, and government, by not allowing him to speak in the parliament, which is the first that the budget session itself is being disrupted by the government of the day, is pretty unusual. But then it also shows that it's an election year. The government has made up its mind that, you know, whether parliament functions or not, they cannot lose the ground in front of the electorate. And I think that is the primary reason why the parliament has become dysfunctional. And I think that this budget session is neither going to get extended. The only thing which will happen is that it will sit for extra hours without debates. The provisions of budget will be passed by the ruling party, whether the opposition is there or not. That is the way brute majorities function. So this is all in this edition of News 9.